The most awkward on-screen love scenes in movies. Going to the movies is usually a fun event for the whole family. There's a reason that movie theaters, filled with people talking during dialogue, overpriced food and snacks, and questionably sticky floors, have survived for so long despite all our other entertainment options. It's the kind of activity you can do at any time of day, and usually with just about anybody. American Beauty, your daughter's friend is never okay. Despite the fact that American Beauty is undoubtedly a great movie full of fantastic performances, it doesn't change the fact that one of the storylines involves a dad lusting after his teenage daughter's friend. When Kevin Spacey and Mena Suvari finally have their vomit-inducing love scene, which thankfully stops short of the big moment, the tenderness of Mena's vulnerability only serves to highlight how inappropriate the whole thing was from the start. Requiem for a Dream, did that really just happen? The uncomfortable scene in question here occurs at the end of Requiem for a Dream, when each of the main characters are deep in the worst chapter of addiction. We're literally witnessing their rock bottoms. Jennifer Connelly plays Marion, a heroin addict who resorts to selling her body for the drug when she is recruited into doing a show for a bunch of demonic, salivating men who jeer and throw money on her and another woman during the performance. Observe and report, when sex jokes stop being funny. Almost any love scene in a comedy could make this list. MacGruber. American Pie. Knocked Up, because love scenes in comedies are specifically played for awkward laughs, but Observe and Report isn't a standard comedy. It's dark, twisted humor from the creator of Eastbound and Down, so when Seth Rogen finally lands his dream girl, Anna Faris, their love scene strays directly into seedy territory. They're drunk, for starters, which already means that they're not thinking straight and can't give informed consent. Nevertheless, the two of them go back to hers for sex, though Brandy, Faris, has ingested a lot of clonazepam and is only semi-conscious, but the film charges past this. Showgirls, is this a love scene or a bull ride? Showgirls came on the heels of director Paul Verhoeven's manic run of RoboCop, Total Recall, and Basic Instinct, so he was probably looking for that same kind of visceral reaction when he took on the world of nude dancers in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, he produced a film that had a rocky reception at best. Some critics cited its campy melodrama as a detractor, and if you're not on the film's wavelength, it's true that Showgirls may have been more at home on Lifetime if it weren't for the graphic sex, most specifically the now infamous pool scene. In it, Elizabeth Berkley writhes around on top of Kyle MacLachlan like someone just threw a toaster in next to them. If you can wipe the tears of laughter from your eyes in time, you can literally see the confusion on his face as he had to be thinking, what is she doing? Oh well, at least I know they'll never use this steak. Gone Girl, take a hard left into horror. Gone Girl has a few grisly scenes, but the one that takes the cake is undoubtedly the love scene and throat-slitting of Daisy, Neil Patrick Harris, one of Amy's ill-fated marks in her diabolical plan to frame her husband for murder. For the sake of getting right to the matter at hand, we'll set aside some seemingly large plot holes with the scene in general, like how would she later explain her access to a razor if she was supposedly Desi's captive? Anyway, the scene is set up for tension from the start. The lighting makes the room look like a bordello, and the score is nothing but foreboding tones that signal imminent dread rather than sexy time. And just when Desi's going to give us the always cringeworthy moment of any love scene, we're sliced right into oh my god territory and everything changes. Needless to say, Harris did not have the best time ever in this scene. But at least it was over quickly. Kickboxing Academy, Sibling Revelry. Kickboxing Academy has a title so hilariously 90s that it couldn't possibly be a real movie. It is, although this 1997 B-movie was also released under the far more boring, if accurate, titled Teen Boxer. The plot concerns, of course, kickboxing and the day-to-day activities at a kickboxing academy. It's right in the title, ultimately, The kickboxing kids have to square off against the kickboxing kids from another martial arts school. MacGruber, not ready to give up the ghost. MacGruber began as a recurring Saturday Night Live bit, an obvious parody of the 1985 to 1992 action show MacGyver. In that show, Richard Dean Anderson starred as a genius who could save the day by making life-saving inventions out of household materials, those being the exact words of the MacGruber sketch's theme song. In every installment, MacGruber, Will Forte, alongside assistants Casey, Maya Rudolph, or Vicky, Kristen Wiig, would try to get out of a locked room with a ticking bomb, using only whatever was lying around, and he'd inevitably fail,